I was going to start working for a couple of different home inspectors down here. And some of them, I mean, very popular home inspectors here. And some of the tools that I use, they've never used them before, right? A multimeter to test the water heater, make sure both elements are working. Right. I have an infrared camera, that I use to scan for leaks. In this threeplex that we were at, there was a signal about that big around. The paint, no stain at all. But I put, I saw it with my infrared scanner, put my moisture meter up there, and sure enough, that was a huge leak that was going on that you would never see with the naked eye. So,
wow.
So in terms of I trust people know the value when they call me. I can try to convince them, hey, I know it's not cheap. I know we're all trying to make money. You gotta save money where you can, right?
Yeah.
And so, but if you can see the home inspections as a real investment, that's the way I see them. And I really work hard, not just to do a rubber stamp inspection, right? You can get those where somebody, they'll minimize this. Well, I just try to be honest and upfront with, these are real issues, right? And these are things that you can address or you might not want to address. It's up to you. The next guy might find it, and just be prepared, that you might have to deal with it then.
Yeah, you did an inspection on one of my clients, and they walked away from the house.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just, and it worked out because ultimately we want people in our circle, in our lives, to be able to tell us things that are going on with the property. And if it's beyond what the buyer can bear and deal with, I will, I'm totally down for that particular buyer walking. And I do think that in the investor world, you get to see a lot more problems, and there is very little room sometimes for negotiation. So it's more pass or fail, right? And what I tend to tell my students in the Flip Savvy courses I teach are, yes, I'm so glad you saved several $100s on that $4,000 repair, right? Because it's several $100s just to get an inspection, but that repair is $4,000.
Sure.
Had you spent the $700, you could have potentially saved yourself a lot more money in the back end.
If you've got real estate projects coming up and you need any exterior siding, windows, garage doors, any premium products, Benthall Brothers has you covered. They're a local business. They've been around since 1943, multiple locations. They'll even do deliveries. So they're a one-stop shop for a lot of your product needs. Benthall Brothers since 1943.
I would totally agree with what you're saying there. And I think that's another great value that my report would bring in, is you get all of the things you need to fix with the electrical, rather than an electrician. Hey, it looks like we got to, fix this, put some GFCIs here. Well, if I come with the inspection, now you show your electrician, hey, we've got these 10 things we've got to address. And you can hold them responsible that they've addressed all 10 of those, rather than, fixing 3 things. But then when you get an inspection before you're selling it, the inspector calls out 5 other things that weren't missed, right?
And that's correct. And so as a real estate agent, the way I describe inspectors, and it's so important for the people of the tribe to know, that you hire an inspector in lieu of the expert, especially upon your analysis.
So the best solution there is to hire, a well-rounded and trained inspector to look at all those things for you.
Sure. And what I try to provide with my reports is, very clear pictures. I've seen a lot of reports where fuzzy pictures, can't really make heads or tails, super general statements. I try to be very specific, try to have a flow to where other times I've seen inspection reports where, as an inspector, I'm totally lost. I can't make heads or tails, don't know where to start, so I try to make mine, just make mine very user-friendly. It flows, it gives you, great information, detail, and it's a real tool for an investor, for a home buyer. No house is perfect. There's always going to be things. So the small things can be on the honey-do list, but the big things are like, okay, I now know what they're going to address.
Get that addressed. let's go ahead and shout out our socials. Where can you find the Investor Tribe? Well, you can find us on social media. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Instagram. And you can find us on X, formerly known as Twitter. That's on INV Tribe on everything. So you can follow us, watch us, hit us up, ask us questions at INV Tribe on everything, on all the socials. And what we want to do is really thank you, Chad, for coming on out.
Thank you so much.
And for really educating the tribe on how important it is to have an inspection and to do your due diligence, right? We recommend inspections, especially for all of our clients, people that take Flip Savvy, highly recommend that they get an inspection and that they get some things figured out, that they're able to navigate all of this. And so let's go ahead and, you can find us again on all of our socials, INV Tribe on everything. And I'm Milton Ali.
And I'm Hampton Scurlock.
And we'll catch you on the flip side.